Okay, Georgia beats Auburn 27-10. Felt like it could have been worse, but it wasn't. But Georgia, what happened in the end of this game to change the game was the Terry Godwin touchdown at going into the half. I mean, that just can't happen. I felt like going into halftime, there were, if Georgia scores probably just one of those touchdowns, they're close. This game was over. It would have been 27-10, but they eventually get the, the knife in the back of Auburn in the form of another DeAndre Swift Auburn killing fourth quarter touchdown run, 77 yards. The one, Georgia's penalties were really not good tonight. I mean, you completely dominate the game, really. I mean, 500 yards to 275. You're running for 300 yards. I mean, that's embarrassing after a while for Auburn. You control the clock almost 40 minutes to 20 minutes, 8 of 14 first downs. You get explosive plays from the likes of DeAndre Swift, Terry Godwin, even Mecole Hardman with a 40-yard kick return. But you are hobbling yourself with these 85 yards in penalties. It just wasn't real good. And I think that's the thing to me, that this team really does feel like it's picking up and getting rolling pretty good. But they're all saying that this season's going to get tougher as it goes on. I mean, obviously they're talking about Alabama. Well, you can't have 85 yards of penalties against Alabama and win. When you watch Mississippi State today, Mississippi State did all it could do to lose that game to Alabama, and they did. And so that's, we're at male reproductive cutting time right now, and you can't do certain things that happen tonight for Georgia and expect to really win against the big dogs here. But I don't want to overshadow, this is yet another win for Georgia over Auburn since 2006. I mean, 2006, massive upset over number 5 Auburn, the blackout in 7. They go down and save themselves in 8, 9. They beat them 24-17 in Athens, which was a little bit of an upset. 10, obviously, they lose to Cam Newton and company. Cam Newton was here tonight. He had a foxtail on the back of his outfit. I don't know what he does all the time. 11, they boat race Auburn here in Athens with Bakari Rambo's pick for a touchdown, and then they beat Auburn 38-0 in Auburn. In 2012, 2013, Miracle on the Plains. 2014, Todd Gurley, 34-7. I'm going off memory here, so I'll get some of the scores wrong. I'm wrong. And then, in 15, one of the worst Georgia-Auburn games you'll ever see. Georgia wins that game. 16, Georgia unranked beats Auburn 13-7 here, a ranked top 10 Auburn team. 17, they get killed at Auburn. Then they kill Auburn. Tonight they kill Auburn. I mean, it's like 80%, it feels like lately. And then, the only time they're losing to Auburn when Auburn is just explosively good, like really good, like in 2010 or 2013 with the Miracle, or, playing for the conference championship. But, Georgia, it was not like this when I was growing up in the 80s in Atlanta. I mean, Georgia was dominated by Auburn, and they just couldn't get around them for 10, 15 years, whatever it was. So this game means a lot to a lot of people. If you grew up in Atlanta or West Georgia, I think this game matters a lot. But I'm not going to undersell how important this rivalry is to a lot of Georgia people. Maybe not to... I don't think it's Georgia's biggest rivalry. I don't think anyone really thinks it is, but it is a big deal rivalry for a lot of different reasons that I just explained. Basically going back and forth for a long, long time. Now Georgia's got a solid lead, if you want to call it that, over Auburn, and they're winning these games that really matter, like the SEC championship game, and now, of course, this game. So Georgia's 7-1 in the league. They're 9-1. They'll be 10-1 next week after playing UMass. And then you have to take Georgia Tech seriously. I mean, you don't know. I mean, you should win that game. You should probably be a 14, 17-point favorite. You should win that game. But Georgia Tech is not a disaster like they were in October or September, whenever it was. They're not a total disaster, but they're going to have a hard time winning this game. And then, when Auburn and when Alabama, Georgia play, let's just see what happens. There's a lot of negativity from the fan base about that game. Y'all need to put your big boy pants on and understand that if you want to win the national championship, you're going to have to beat Alabama, and you're going to have to beat them every single year. So the negativity is noted, but not necessary. And frankly, it's stupid. So this team can beat anyone, and that's they can't lose to everyone, but they can beat everyone that is in college football. And that's what the focus of the fan base should be, is the positive, not the assumed negative. Thank you, Larry Munson. God bless him. All right, 21-10, Georgia beats Auburn. I wonder what he would think about this, because they started this when he was in his twilight, but they have accelerated it since his death in 2008 for sure, or when, I can't recall when he died. But Dean Legge wrapping up Georgia 27-10 over Auburn. We'll see UMass next week, which Kirby Smart says will be a big game.